Hi, I'm Pastor Scott. This is Extraordinary Connection, and I'm glad you're here. A couple years ago, Albert Lexie passed away at the age of 76. And by the time he passed, he had donated over $200,000 to help with the medical expenses for children at the Pittsburgh Children's Hospital. Albert was a generous man who had worked tirelessly his whole life to help families with sick children pay their medical bills. But actually, let me start over, because it's not the end of Albert's life I'm so interested in, it's the journey. See, Albert was cognitively challenged. He had trouble learning in traditional ways, so by the 8th grade, Albert had gone as far as school as he could. He left school at 8th grade, and with the shoe shine box he made in shop class under his arm, he took up work as a shoe shine man outside of the children's hospital. Albert charged $5 for a shine and was there outside the hospital almost every day. Shining shoes was something Albert was able to do, and he liked meeting all the people who came to his booth. So he enjoyed his work, he was good at his work, and he liked talking with his customers about the Pirates or Steelers or whatever other current events. When Albert was finished, the customer would pay the $5 and then would often give Albert a tip. Not just $1 or $2 to say, "Well done, Albert, thanks for your hard work." Albert decided, though, that every time he received a tip, he was going to donate the tip money to help the kids in the hospital. So shine after shine, day after day, Albert would donate the tips he made. When the staff heard about his donation of the tip money, they started bringing in extra work and extra pairs of shoes from home so Albert could shine those shoes and make a little extra money for himself. And after 35 years of faithfully giving all of his tips, Albert had given over $200,000 when he retired to help children and families of the Pittsburgh Children's Hospital. Kindness is cumulative. We often think of kind acts in our lives as one-off events, as independent things that happen. I helped someone rake their leaves, or I gave $5 to a homeless man, or I returned a shopping cart for a person that was struggling to get it back. All of these are kind, small, discreet, generous gifts. But each one is really cumulative. That is, each kind act, each kind choice we make in life builds upon the other kind acts. So over time, all the small acts make a huge difference in the world. It's sort of like building a house. One brick, it's not so exciting, but lots of bricks stacked together on top of each other, and suddenly you have a house. When kindness is put out into the world, it changes the world. It inspires others around us who in turn might do kind acts themselves. It offers a sense of hope to those who struggle to see any good in the world. And each act of kindness opens our own heart just a little bit more to the love of Christ, which in turn allows us to do more and more for the kingdom. We had a family pastor whose favorite Bible story was the one of Jesus feeding the 5,000. Do you remember that one? 5,000 plus people, because the Bible only counted men gathered that day. All these people were sitting on the shore listening to Jesus speak and teach. The day went along, and it was dinner time, and the people were hungry. And the disciples say, Jesus? The crowd's getting kind of hungry. Are you going to send them home, or what are we going to do? And Jesus says to them, you give them something to eat. The disciples are scratching their heads. How could they feed so many people? How could they afford to feed that many, let alone the logistics and distribution challenges? And as they're wringing their hands, trying to decide what to do first, a little boy comes forward with 5 small loaves of bread and 2 little fish. Now, tradition says Jesus broke the bread and blessed the fish, and there was a miracle, and somehow the food kept multiplying until everyone was fed, and there were still baskets of food left over after everyone was fed. But my pastor always said she thought it was less divine miracle and more cumulative kindness. She always thought the miracle was in the generosity of the little boy, who, when he came forward with his 5 loaves and 2 fish, sparked interest and inspired interest in others to come forward with their little bits of food. And together, as everyone gathered, gave as they had, they were able to feed the entire crowd. What really happened? I'm not sure, of course, but I do like the idea of the miracle being a practical one. A miracle led by a child. A miracle that started with a small act of kindness and grew and grew. Just like Albert Lexie's kindness. One donated tip, that's nice, but a cumulative lifetime of kind acts and lives were changed forever. So what do you think happened that day with the loaves and fishes? And how are you bringing small acts of kindness into the world? Let me know at extraordinaryconnection.org.